What's going on, golf addicts? DB back in the saddle, the regular saddle, my stand-up desk at the house with the Sleepers video. Heck of a lot more sober than last week's Sleepers video. Some have said it was one of the best pieces of content I've ever made, and both guys missed the cut. That's what it's about, baby. That's what it's about. So this week, I might even give you a little bonus. Normally I do 2 sleepers. I might throw out a little Scooby snack at the end if we have enough time for a sleeper. Okay, let's get this going. I'm going to start off with the first guy. Normally, I like to give you some cheap guys, but I'm going to start off with a more expensive guy this week because I'm looking at him. He's projected around 3% early on a Tuesday. And we know this guy can actually win on the PGA Tour. He's done it twice, even though it's been at the same course, and it ain't this one. But he's a 2-time PGA Tour winner. And I think he gives you some legitimate upside. And he's actually checking a few boxes. I'm talking about my boy, K.H. Lee. You know who he is, Kyung-Hoon Lee. I ran a model on Fantasy National this morning, which I didn't run it previous. I didn't run it, but I never run it Monday nights because I don't want to complicate it. You don't need to know that. But I ran it this morning. You know what? KH Lee ranks 7th in my model. 7th. Now, I could have my model jacked up, but 7th is pretty good. Okay? Checks the box in around the green. You got to be good around the green here. The wind is going to be blowing at Valspar. Even if it's not, you got to be good around the green here. Checks the, he's a good sand player, good around the greens. Checks the box in a couple of key long-term proximity buckets, 150 to 175, 175 to 200. You got to be able to hit out the middle of the bag here at Copperhead and Innisbrook. Middle of the bag is very important. Bogey avoidance, which is what you would expect for a guy who's really good around the green, really good out of the sand. KH Lee avoids the big numbers for the most part. He really does. Solid iron play. Solid total driver off the tee as well. Like pretty good distance, middle of the road distance, middle of the road accuracy, probably a little more accurate than he is long. Let's take a look at him on Fantasy National. By the way, he's 8K. He's 66 to 1 outright, and he's plus 250 to finish in the top 20. And I got another little nugget I'm going to share with you about KH Lee here in just a second. Now, ignore the Bermuda putting splits. I mean, it looks like the guy in the locker room on any given Sunday right here with the Bermuda, it's like left nut, right nut, it's bad. I mean, so we don't love that, but we do love this gain strokes in the wind, good solid ball striker for the most part, iron playing around the green. And there's not a whole lot that we see here that we're real excited about, but it's more upside for KH Lee. That's what we like. Valspar has played here once in 2021, finished 29th. I like the Honda as a decent comp course. Made 3 or 4 cuts at the Honda with a T7 in 2019. I just think KH is kind of sneaky. All right. He's just kind of sneaky. 3% high upside. Now, here's the last nugget. There is a head-to-head matchup on one of the sharp head-to-head books overseas. Way out there. Okay. And he's got a line against Ben Griffin. And he's opened as a slight favorite. Minus 113, I think, to minus 107. Slight favorite over Ben Griffin. Ben Griffin taking a lot of ownership. And I love Ben Griffin. I really do. I think he's a really talented young player. I got to watch him personally, watch all 18 holes of his Thursday round at the Players. But, I mean, that's interesting. If the sharp head-to-head books open up and give KH Lee a slight edge, I think that's interesting. So be on the lookout for KH Lee. All right, here's my next play. And, oh, boy, I got 2 cheap. I'm going to give you that bonus play because we moved through KH Lee pretty quick. I got 2 cheapies. Before I get into that, I got to tell you guys about Picket. Make sure you download the Picket app. You're literally getting paid to download the app. It's a free app. No payment stuff required once you get in it. And if you download using our link in the description of the video and then put in TJ in the referral code box, which you see here on the top left of the screen, you're going to get either $3. They're going to PayPal you $3 here, free money, or they're going to PayPal you $100, which 1 in 100 people are going to win $100. Just free money, free cash. But I'm telling you guys, this app is extremely powerful. I can't believe how good it is to help you track your bets, to help you track your props. If you're playing Prize Picks, if you're playing Underdog, if you're in a legal sports betting state as well, all your sports books you can link up. Over 20 DFS and sportsbook sites are able to be synced through the app. It's beautiful. I just want to show you one quick feature here that's on the screen. And it's being able to dig into line by line, event by event every day. So this is showing, for example, some NBA slates. You can line shop. You can click into these games, and then you can see these popular prop markets, popular picks, who's betting on them. And then you can just keep drilling down. You can line shop. You can see what the handle dollars are, what the total number of bets are, and where it's all coming in between the money line, the spread, the totals. You can see everything from handle to bet percentage. It is incredibly powerful, especially with March Madness coming up. I'm telling you, download the Picket app, click the link below, put TJ in the referral code. I promise you won't regret it. All right, let's get to the next pick, which you might regret, okay? He's popped up here in the Sleepers video before. He's a pretty polarizing guy, but I'm telling you what, okay? I'm telling you what, I'm interested. He is $6,800 on DraftKings. I'm seeing him at 3% owned so far. He is 7-1 to finish in the top 20 on FanDuel. $6,800 again with my model that I ran this morning. As a $6,800 player, he ranked 25th. Probably means my model is absolutely boned. 13th in strokes gained approach over the last 24 rounds. 7th around the green. Top 3rd in the field in sand saves, which I didn't weight sand saves very heavily. I weighted it 3%, okay? But that's something you got to do here at Copperhead Innisbrook. Top half in bogey avoidance. Just those things alone are going to be very valuable at Valspar. Now, he struggles to hit fairways because he's a bomber. So ideally, he clubs down here. So he's the fairways gain number, the weight that I gave fairways gained is going to bring him down in the model. And he doesn't check the boxes in those key iron metrics, which I don't love, but we're going to look at that here in a second because he has been lately. I looked at long-term proximity, but recently he's been trending, and it is none other than Matthew Wallace. That's right. The man that Pat had to just dote on day after day last week. He lost that bet, had to tweet about Matt Wallace. Let's share the screen, take a look at him on Fantasy National. And I've got the proximity buckets pulled up for Matt Wallace because, like I said, long-term, he did not check the boxes. And these were the two proximity buckets I looked at, 150 to 175 and 175 to 200. Like I said, middle of the bag. Long-term, you can see he doesn't check the box. I think I looked at last 50 rounds there. So you're going to be in that 10 to 20 tournament range where you're just not clicking. But look in the short term, especially in this range, like he's popping a little bit, right? Popping a little bit here. Long irons usually pretty good for Matt Wallace. All that I really like. I mean, solid iron player with some legitimate upside. Let's look at not that. Let's look at jeez. Come on, DB. Let's look at strokes gained. You can see here he's pretty good in difficult conditions, which is what we're going to get this week at Valspar. Good in the wind, which is what we're going to get. Neutral putting on Bermuda, whatever. Historically, irons and around the green and putting, which is those are going to be key. Again, when you see these strokes gained off the tee numbers being mooey mow, I think it's going to be better this week because he's going to be forced to club down and not hit driver. He's going to have to put things in the fairway here at Innisbrook. And then from there, he can use these irons and this short game to propel. But I think he legitimately has upside. At the Valspar, he's only played here once, missed the cut. At the Honda, like I said, my comp course, played here 4 times, a T20 and a T29. I just think there is upside here. A T29 at the Honda just a couple of weeks ago. Again, a very positional golf course. Now, he sucked off the tee there, but gained almost 8 strokes with his irons, which is sick. And when he's popping, when he plays well, he tends to play well. Top 30 at the Shriners, 21st at the Fortinet, 10th at the Rocket, 26th at the 3M Open. Those are all very similar fields to what we have here. So, Matt Wallace, I hate it. It doesn't feel good. It feels like we all need to loofah ourselves, and just wash the Matt Wallace off of us. And he might absolutely suck. And I know I'm going to get hate for that pick in the Nut Hut if he sucks. I'm going to hear it. I understand. But I'm just saying the numbers are showing me something. And 3% ownership for a guy who hits his irons well, doesn't make a lot of big numbers unless he's hitting foul balls off the tee with the driver, where he's not going to have to hit a lot of drivers. He's great around the greens and in the sand. I think we give it a shot. All right, the final play I'm going to give you, and we're just throwing this one out here, and this is almost more of an educational piece, okay? I'm educating you. I want to give you a name that you should be aware of because he may pop up down the road, okay? Maybe he gets a few more exemptions. Maybe he earns his PGA Tour card here pretty soon because he doesn't have a full status card yet. But he's at $6,500, projected around that 3 to 4% range, like Matt Wallace $6,500, like Matt Wallace, except $300 cheaper. He's projected at or his odds are 7-1 to finish in the top 20, and his name is John Vanderlyn. Okay, now if you're wondering who John Vanderlyn is, he's a Corn Ferry Tour player right now. Played in college. I think he turned pro in 2018. He was the Jack Nicklaus Award winner in college his senior year in 2018, which goes to the best college player of all, which is fantastic. Played at Florida Southern. Okay, Florida guy, born in Connecticut, whatever. Played at Florida Southern. Lives in Ponte Vedra. But clearly, the dude is a stripe show. He's a flusher with the irons. He hits it a long way. But if you look at his Corn Ferry Tour stats, if you look at what he's done, how he's performed in limited starts on the PGA Tour, just finished 7th in Puerto Rico, finished 35th in the fall at the Bermuda, and then in the Bahamas earlier this year in January on the Corn Ferry Tour, a T17 and a T21. I'm saying that to say, okay, Bahamas, Bermuda, Puerto Rico, coastal, windy, breezy, positional courses, right? Like flush your irons, do your thing. I think that's potential for the Florida guy, the Florida stud, Florida Southern, John Vanderlyn, Jack Nicklaus Award winner. Be on the lookout for the kid. He could be worth something. That's all I got. Download the Picket app. Okay, get your money. Put TJ in the referral code. Links in the description below. Let's have a great week. May your screens be green. See ya.